What's up, guys? Zinigami here, and let's go over some more Japanese One Piece Treasure Cruise news. Okay, there is some stuff on a global version, like there's the bridal characters out, there's also bridal Nami Fortnite Island out, but those are just simple. They're just new characters. On the Japanese version of One Piece Treasure Cruise, we do have a new Sigil Fest. It's the 2.2 million downloads Sigil Fest. And it's just more multi-pulls, more of the same characters. Nobody new, just the same repeat Sigil Fest with Fujitora and Bartolomeo heading the way. On this, once again, I'm going to go real quick down to the Rayleigh notice, because on Rayleigh Island, he'll always give you one of the 6 best skill books, that being in order. And something very important to notice is that he does tell you which book he's going to give you. And that's on his 5th voice box. On his 5th voice box, what he'll say is one of these messages right here. And if you go to the link in the video description, or just look at and match up on these ones, he'll either say damage reduction, cooldown reduction, bind, despair, heal per turn, or matching. So in order, that is once again damage reduction, cooldown reduction, bind, despair, heal, and or matching. So make sure you also use either Baccarat or Haruta Captain, so that way you have a chance of getting extra bind or extra books. And since there are only 2 drops, the turtle and the book, you got a pretty good chance of duplicating one of those book drops. Get yourself extra books. There are going to be some Twitter events coming out again for extra islands coming back around. Turtle Time is coming back around, Cotton Candy Island, and the Shanks Fortnite Island. Shanks being the way that the old Rayleigh Island works, where you run it and you get a ton of a ton of bonus EXP. That's gonna start on the 22nd, which is, as of right now, recording in 3 days. And the more important part, so we have the new Marineford Marineford Story Mode Island coming out. That is going to have, now there's a lot of new art on this little splash picture, but the new art on the splash pictures are often just art that they use from teases or from in-game cutscenes or animations. So just because there's a new Whitebeard, Sengoku, Ace, Mihawk, and Kizaru art, I wouldn't actually expect those to be new characters that you actually fight or can drop on the island. And this is a Gear 3 art, but recolored. This is Rare Recruit Jinbei and Raid Boss Ivankov artwork. But what it does say, something very interesting down here, is that if you bring characters that would have fought in the Marineford fight, so that would be characters like Jinbei, Marco, Jozu, Squardo, any of the Straw Hats, any of the Marines, Admirals characters. If you bring one of them, they will have their stats boosted by 20%. So they'll have their attack, recovery, and health boosted by 20%. And at the start of a stage, they have their cooldowns reduced by 5 turns. Now, a similar mechanic to this is going to be active on all story mode islands from even previous ones. And the example they give down here is that if you bring Nightmare Luffy to Thriller Bark, since Nightmare Luffy was supposed to be on Thriller Bark, he gets 20% boosted stats. That's 20% higher attack, hit points, and recovery. So that's going to be a cool little mechanic. It doesn't mean you have to bring those characters, but if you do bring those characters, you will have a stronger team. And we don't really have comprehensive lists of who's going to have their stats boosted. We might not. If they were in the anime or in the manga and took part in these islands, they will have their stats boosted and cooldowns reduced. Definitely making for faster and easier farming teams on those story mode story mode stages. There is also spoilers on one of the Japanese magazines. So in this Japanese magazine, they are going over which is a new ace. This is the same ace that we actually see in the in-game splash, by the way. And this is the same Kizaru art we see in in-game splash, and the same Mihawk art we see in the in-game splash. But there is going to be a Rescue Ace event. And the way this event works is going to start on the 6th, that is in about 3 weeks from now, or 4 weeks, 3 weeks. It's going to be a Rescue Ace event where we are going to get a different fight every day. We're going to get either Kizaru, Akainu, or we actually have thanks to Kola-san for translating this for us. We have Aokiji, Kizaru, and Aka-Inu fights for the fights, and it's going to be every day here. You can see their awesome team of Whitebeard and Inazuma, which is clearly the best team you can use. And every time you beat one of these stages, you'll get points. And eventually you can redeem these points to get Ace. Similar to how the Rayleigh shop lets you redeem points to get your Ores zombie right now. So, and there's also this new Mihawk that we're not exactly sure how we get them, but it's a good chance that that Mihawk will drop. I would assume that's a story mode Mihawk, since we do have a full art splash for him right there that looks a lot like character art. So story mode Mihawk, I feel. A Kizaru, that might be a reward. That is pretty convincing character artwork, but it might not be. We are definitely getting an Ace starting 9-6 right there, where we get different raid boss or different admiral fights, either Aka-Inu, Kizaru, or Aokiji, right? It was Aokiji? Aokiji. And then down here we have the beautiful, beautiful artwork that Bandai Namco knows we love. That beautiful violet. Sexy. Anyways, guys, that's what's going on in One Piece Treasure Cruise. The most important things to keep in mind for are, we don't have a date for Marineford yet, but will be coming out soon. And when Marineford does come out, if you have not finished your stages before Marineford, that being these last two stages, Impel Down and the Amazon Lily Islands, they will have several days of half stamina and double drop rates for those two islands to help you get caught up to Marineford like they usually do. They haven't announced it yet, but there's a very, very good chance they will have those half stamina / double drop days for the stages leading up to Marineford. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, you can go to patreon.com/Zenigami and subscribe. I keep saying subscribe. I'm gonna blame it on my slightly sick nasally nose. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all stay beautiful.